What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Julio Cesar Martinez versus Angelino Cordova, and this was a 12-rounder for the WBC Flyweight World Championship, and this fight was Saturday, March 30th, from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this fight was broadcasted on Prime TV pay-per-view, it was broadcast on an Amazon Prime Video pay-per-view. And in this fight, Julio Cesar Martinez was able to get the majority decision victory over Angelino Cordova. So this was a fairly interesting fight to watch. I personally had it scored 115-111 in favor of Julio Cesar Martinez. I mean, it could have been closer because I'm going to be honest, the last couple of rounds my stream cut out and I wasn't really able to watch them as intently. But from what I was seeing, I thought the rounds went in a certain way. But really, rounds 11 and 12, I couldn't really watch them in depth, so I might have to rewatch those rounds. But really, throughout the fight, it was a very, very interesting one. Like I said, I had it 115-111 in favor of Julio Cesar Martinez. However, the judges had this one 113-113, and then 114-112 twice in Martinez's favor. So, just to break this fight down round by round and how I saw it going, the first round, Cordova was actually slugging, and he was landing some big hooks on Martinez, so I gave him that round. However, round number 2 was a better round for Martinez, just slugging back and picking the better shots against Cordova. However, round number 3 was a huge round for Martinez. He scored 2 knockdowns, getting a 10-7 round, dropping Cordova twice with 2 left hooks. They were more like jabs, like stiff jab hooks, mixed between the two. Then around number 4 and 5, I gave them both. I gave them both to Martinez. Martinez was just landing the way harder shots, in my opinion, in those 2 rounds. But then, from round 6, 7, and 8, I gave them all to Angelino Cordova. I thought he had some very good work in there. He was just, I thought, placing the better shots than Martinez. I thought Martinez had some decent work. However, I thought that Cordova's work was much better placed, much more polished as well. Then around number, where was I? Round number, I believe it was 10 now, after those 3 rounds I gave to Cordova, around 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, round number 9, I gave to Martinez. I thought he just landed the heavier shots. Round number 10, however, I gave to Cordova. I thought it was a more quiet round, favored his pace. Then round 11, this round, before my stream cut out and I was having to scramble to get it back up, I saw that Cordova was hurt in the earlier part of the round with a good shot from Martinez. So I would assume that he won that round. And then round 12, I was able to watch the latter half of the round, and I thought it was fairly competitive. I couldn't really decide who to give it to, but I edged it to Martinez. But just comment down below if that 12th round was like a clear Cordova round or not. However, in the end, my scorecard did accumulate to 115-111 in favor of Julio Cesar Martinez, but he did get the job done here in the end. But I mean, just comment down below how you guys had this one scored, because, like I said before, those last 2 rounds, round number 12 was a close one for me that I was really debating who to give it to, based on the fact that I wasn't really able to watch the full round in depth. But, I mean, it was a very close fight, and Martinez is coming off of some close fights. I mean, if we take a look at his recent resume, I mean, he got a TKO win in the 11th round over Ronaldo Bautista, but that was a fairly competitive fight leading up to the stoppage. Before that, he got a very close win over Samuel Carmona. But, I mean, for Martinez, he got a win here, which obviously, in the end, is a world title defense. On paper, obviously, and Cordova going into this fight was undefeated, 18-0. Now falls to 18-1. Cordova, he was actually coming off 2 very solid wins, so this on paper is a pretty good win for Julio Cesar Martinez, despite not many people knowing his name that well. But if we take a look at the flyweight division, we see that besides Cordova, in the WBC rankings, I mean, there's guys like David Jimenez, who's ranked number 1, and Angel Ayala, also Francisco Rodriguez Jr. All those guys, they're fairly highly ranked, obviously, by the WBC. So any of those names could be next, possibly for Julio Cesar Martinez. However, I mean, we take a look at the champions. We obviously see Jesse Rodriguez and Seigo Yuri Aki as the WBA's world champion. So, I mean, really, what could be next for Martinez? A lot of options. Any of those guys that I listed in the WBC, or possibly he could take on one of these champs, but I know that Jesse Rodriguez does have a fight lined up soon. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens next for Martinez. But as for Angelino Cordova, losing here, obviously, for the first time in his career, as I mentioned before, for him, I think he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. He might get a few decent wins against some high-level guys at the weight class. However, I think that he's going to have to go back, like I said before, get these wins and maybe build himself back up, get a world title eliminator win, and see what could go on next. So overall, Julio Cesar Martinez defeats Angelino Cordova via majority decision in a world title defense for his WBC title in a very, very competitive and interesting fight to watch. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.